CTV3 News. First case of new screwworm in Guatemala sparks immediate action to protect Belize's cattle industry. Belize secures market access as UK maintains raw cane sugar tariff quota. Another minor is allegedly sexually assaulted by her grandfather. And a Red Bank village man is arrested after making threatening calls to the Prime Minister's office. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Wednesday, November 6th, 2024.
This is my first visit to Belize as foreign minister, but my fourth overall. I first came here 20 years ago. Taiwan and Belize have many things in common, and we both cherish peace and uphold the values of freedom, democracy, the rule of law, and respect for human rights. And based on these solid foundation of common ideals and mutual interests, our friendship has continued to flourish for 35 years. The government of Taiwan, in response to Prime Minister Belize's request during his visit to Taiwan in May, has agreed to provide financial support for the reconstruction of Beacon Bridge in Belize City. We understand that this is a pressing issue concerning the city's transportation safety.
Taiwan has proven over those 35 years to be a very valuable partner and very consistent partner and ally and friend of Belize's development. So we're very happy to welcome Minister Lin and his delegation to Belize.
Relationship between countries starts with personal friendships. And once you build that personal friendship, then you start to build on top of that.
Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Face FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. A few days ago, Guatemala confirmed its first case of New World screwworm in a group of cattle 44 miles from the Belize-Guatemala southern border in Los Amates, Izabal. Currently, the worm has now been detected in Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, and now Guatemala. That's why the Ministry of Agriculture, Baja, and other stakeholders have wasted no time in establishing a plan of action in the event that the parasite makes its way into Belize. Interested stakeholders are currently in full force across the country, carrying out an education campaign as well as workshops on the New World screwworm, offering knowledge and expertise on working with cattle. Today, the Ministry of Agriculture, along with Baja, Oyursa, and other partners, hosted a press conference to offer the latest updates on the infestation and what we are doing to keep it out of Belize for as long as possible.
We did not. The movement of animals today is far different than the movement of animals 30 years ago. Movement of people from 1,000 days is far greater than 30 years ago. So the movement of animals and people with an ability to control outbreak began in Costa Rica. It's still going on in Costa Rica. We were unable to control Costa Rica. Strategy was to disperse supplies between the borders of Honduras, Costa Rica, and Nicaragua. We were of the people of the view that if it never gets in Nicaragua, it would complicate the validation process. Nicaragua has the highest amount of cattle distribution, 9 million head bovine cattle alone. It is estimated that 1 million animals move from Nicaragua all the way into Honduras and to Guatemala and then to Mexico every year. Most of this movement of cattle is informal. So the objective was to try to control the outbreak before that to Nicaragua. Again, still, by this time the U.S. Congress have made arrangements. Agreements were signed and agreed for the allocation of $100 billion for the region by the outbreak. We visited Honduras and Panama last week, looking at what they were doing and how we could replicate some of the actions taken in the Central American countries to avoid the production of and force entering into the Belizean territory.
Animal Health Director at Baja, Dr. Roxana Alvarez, today also shared the actions which are currently being taken in country and regionally to ensure preparedness across the entire cattle industry.
And we've been monitoring regional situation. We've been instituting measures of tightening surveillance, and that has been raised to the point where we are an alert. And what that means is that, one, we are carrying out surveillance in our high-risk areas, our high-risk zones. You will see officers from the Belize Patrol Health Authority, from the Ministry of Agriculture, and from BLPA visiting high-risk communities, speaking to farmers, sharing information, carrying out census with compiling information. Why? Because that is part of our surveillance within the high-risk zones, right? Two, we're tightening movement control, the movement of animals. We need to be able to, one, ensure that we're not moving animals that have wounds. Two, we need to ensure that all animals that are moved can be tracked. We're also working in partnership with other ministries and other organizations. Mr. Sibel mentioned that Baja and the Ministry of Agriculture have been working together on this for a while, but we've also been working together with ICA and with OIRSA within Belize and in the region. Other partner ministries are the Ministry of Health and Wellness, since this is a zoonotic disease that can be transmitted from animals to humans. The Ministry of Sustainable Development through the Forest Department, because we need to monitor wild animals also, warming wild animals. And the general situation of the region has been working on the control of spread. And this is very difficult for many reasons, but there are four main pillars. And of course, as part of the region, Belize has activities that are focused in these areas.
For farmers to deal with this serious threat, according to OIRSA Regional Representative Dr. Abelardo de Garcia, is of crucial importance if and when this disease makes its way into Belize.
During identification campaign for program, we need to have a very intensive training program to capacity of the farmer capacity to recognize all wounds and treat the wounds, for example. For moving control points, I was yesterday in Toledo, very close to the border, the Guatemala border, and we located the point that we will do the control movement. And that's now, after this meeting, we are going to the north to do the same. And after Tuesday, tomorrow, we will go to the Cayo, very close to the Guatemala border, to do the same. So it's very important that we have a very good movement control. And the last point is the release of stereo bits. But this is the 25% of the work. We need to do the other 4 points if we have a very successful program. That would be the story of the regional program to prevent, control, and eradicate poverty.
The Ministry of Agriculture, through the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, BAHA, is advising the public to make immediate reports of suspected larval infestations. Individuals can contact BAHA's Animal Health Department at 302-1388 in Orange Walk, 824-4872 in Central Farm, or via text at 670-7003. Police are investigating a serious allegation involving the sexual assault of a female minor by a family member. The investigation began when a woman and her child reported to officials that on Tuesday, November 5th, November 5th, around 5:30 p.m., the child's grandfather allegedly engaged in sexual relations with her while they were at home. As part of the procedure, a comprehensive medical examination of the minor was conducted, which revealed that she had been carnally known. The family member accused remains under investigation, though no charges have been filed at this time. A Red Bank Village man has been arrested and charged following a threatening call made to the Prime Minister's office that prompted a swift police response on October 24th. The incident began when a caller, later identified as Tyler Cook, contacted Love FM and warned that something big would happen at the Sir Edney Kane building in Bamopan. In his call, Cook expressed his desire to bring a stop to politics in Belize, raising immediate concerns among law enforcement officials. Upon receiving the threat, police swiftly evacuated the government building and conducted a comprehensive search of the premises. Fortunately, no threats or hazards were found, and the situation was resolved without any incidents. Following the investigations, the call was tracked back to Cook, who is a resident of Red Bank Village in the Stan Creek district. According to police reports, Cook confessed to making the threatening call, stating that his true intention was to secure a meeting with Prime Minister John Briceño. Cook was detained by officers in Independence and formally charged on October 26 with mischievous act. This charge is significant as it carries legal ramifications for causing public alarm and wasting police resources. A major stride for Belize's sugar industry has emerged following the United Kingdom's recent announcement to uphold its autonomous tariff quota ATQ for raw cane sugar. This resolution promises notable benefits for local cane farmers and underscores the significance of the sector to the national economy, as highlighted in a press statement from the government of Belize. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade confirmed the UK will permit 260,000 tons of raw cane sugar to enter its market at a 0% tariff rate starting in 2025, ensuring vital market access for Belizean sugar exports. This decision is part of the ongoing CARIFORUM UK Economic Partnership Agreement (EPA), which guarantees that Belizean sugar exports will continue to be duty-free and quota-free. Today, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Francis Fonseca, told the media this is extraordinary news for Belize.
Yeah, it's good news, very good news for Belize. It means that the status quo remains, that Belize will continue to be able to export its sugar on the same existing terms and conditions, at least for another few years. I think it's 4 years or so. So that was something we were concerned about, because there were moves, in some corners to try to really remove that favorable status and extend it to other countries. And so it's very important. We did a lot of work in that regard. My predecessor, Minister Courtney, did a lot of important work advancing that issue, and we have done so over the last year. So we're very happy that the UK government and Parliament has approved that process to continue.
As for Dr. Osmond Martinez, Minister of State in Foreign Trade, expressed appreciation for the UK's commitment, stating the UK's decision to maintain this vital access reaffirms the importance of Belize's cane farmers, whose contributions support not only the economy but the livelihoods of thousands of Belizean families. This ensures that Belize remains competitive in one of its primary export markets, offering stability to rural communities. Belize's sugar industry is essential, representing approximately 41% of the nation's foreign exchange earnings and sustaining around 12,000 direct jobs. The decision to maintain the current ATQ level serves as a significant lifeline for the industry amidst global market shifts and heightened competition. This achievement is attributed to Belize's proactive engagement in the UK's public consultations on sugar tariffs, where the country emphasized the socio-economic importance of its sugar industry. For several weeks, there have been talks about the possibility of Elon Musk's Starlink getting a license in Belize to provide its services in the country. Since the proposal was made, several entities have expressed concern to the Public Utilities Commission. Last month, Starlink submitted its application to the PUC, asking to become operational in Belize as an internet service provider. While a majority have expressed support for the service and believe it will positively impact the country, there are those who believe it will undermine the country's national telecommunications company, Belize Telemedia Limited, and even SpeedNet Communications Limited. When questioned about the situation today, Foreign Minister Honorable Francis Fonseca said that although the situation has been brought up in Cabinet, they are awaiting a proposal to be made before an official position can be taken.
Yeah, I think, we've had a very brief discussion about it in Cabinet. I don't know enough about the issue because, it's a technical issue. But we're going to get a proper presentation. That's what we discussed and agreed. We're going to get a proper presentation from the PUC and other, from the Ministry, I think, of Public Utilities as well, so that we can have a better understanding of the issue. And then we can, provide some sort of recommendation. So, with technology, of course, we want to protect our interests in Belize. We want to protect our company, BTL. But as you all know, with technology, in a sense, it's inevitable that these things happen. So, it's something we're looking at. But I think we need, once we get that presentation, we'll be in a better position to speak on the issue.
And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Project, it's a vanilla training for the west and the southern part of the country, which is being funded by the Taiwan mission in Belize. Our focus is to diversify, to find ways to diversify the economic base of Belize. And we had identified that there may be some competitive advantage in the vanilla sector. While Belize doesn't have much production right now, there seems to be an interest in the international market for Belize gourmet vanilla bean. And we identified for the south, which is Bella Vista, to implement it because we found out, first of all, that there's they have a quite good history in implementing projects. We're training 30 women, okay, and girls. A partnership with the school, with the high school, where they're bringing in at least a little less than half of the persons that will be trained are young girls, youth.
Vanilla is native to Toledo District. It is easy to grow. It can be grown in the backyard. It requires no special skill. You don't have to go far off to a plantation to do it. So it really lends itself to rural what we call home gardens. And is a way to generate income for households.
The demand towards women is so high, the expectations are high, and the rewards are always low, especially to the members, those who will be taking this course. Take advantage of it, work hard. You know, in 2022, when that email came to me, at no point I ever think that we will have this opening of this training in Bella Vista in my village. When I took that initiative, I did it right away. You know why? Because I did it for the betterment and the progress and the development of our beautiful country, Belize.
In Belize City today, Mayor Bernard Wagner and other partners hosted an official CARICOM and SICA flag raising ceremony to commemorate regional integration with both entities, both of which Belize is a part of. The flag raising ceremony served to celebrate the strong ties which Belize shares with our Caribbean and Central American countries, highlighting regional integration in the areas of economic, social, and political development. Foreign Affairs Minister Honorable Francis Fonseca highlights the importance of such an event to cement our partnership within CARICOM and SICA, while also expressing aspirations for deeper regional connections.
And we often, as you all know, have historically talked about being a bridge between Central America and the Caribbean because of that unique feature of our foreign policy, being able to belong to both of these important regional blocs, both the Caribbean Community and SICA, the Central American Integration Organization. But the question has always been, how meaningful is that membership, and what benefits has Belize reaped from being a member of these organizations? And I think, for the most part, the benefit we have reaped, particularly through CARICOM, has been political, to be very honest about it, because of their strong commitment to Belize's self-government, to Belize's independence, to Belize's territorial integrity, to our right to self-determination. CARICOM has been a seamless block of support in terms of that effort for Belize. So political development has been really the priority, I think, for many, many years. Now, I think, over the past decade or so, I think there has been a renewed effort on Belize's part to look at economic development. How can we benefit economically from these regional organizations? And that's where I think we have a real opportunity, and we have been working very aggressively on that issue over the past few years here in Belize. Recently, for example, we took a delegation led by the Prime Minister. We took a delegation to Guatemala of the private sector to explore opportunities for investment and trade. We're doing the same thing in CARICOM. We had, you all will recall, we had trade visits from, for example, Trinidad. We have from Jamaica. So that's really the priority for us now. Economic opportunities, trade, investment opportunities, because you're absolutely right. In terms of the trade imbalance, it's very, very alarming. So we have to find new markets for products, and Central America and the Caribbean represent an opportunity for us to do that.
As the only country to share ties both within the CARICOM region and Central American region, Minister Fonseca says Belize plays a vital role in the integration of both regions in areas of trade and policy.
We're looking at, of course, agriculture is key. These markets are big. For example, Guatemala, we have 17 million people. In terms of chicken and beef, poultry and beef, markets for our grains, markets as well for in terms of tourism. We're always looking at these countries. We don't get enough tourists from Central America. They don't know enough about Belize. So we've had discussions about those two critical areas, tourism and agriculture. And we hope that we will see a change in terms of that level of travel to Belize.
Also present during today's flag-raising ceremony was Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner and other members of the Belize City Council, along with Minister Henry Charles Usher and members of both CARICOM and the SECAR. Belize's Minister of Foreign Affairs Francis Fonseca extended his congratulations to Donald Trump on his victory in the 2024 U.S. presidential elections, highlighting the country's eagerness to strengthen its partnership with the incoming administration. In a formal statement, Fonseca emphasized the importance of Belize's diplomatic relationship with the United States, citing shared priorities and goals. According to Fonseca, Belize looks forward to working closely with the Trump administration to address mutual interests, including regional security, human trafficking, and combating narco-trafficking.
Yeah, of course, Belize always respects the will of the people. The American people have spoken very clearly and very loudly. And so, Belize enjoys a very, very strong friendship and partnership with the United States of America. We congratulate the President-elect, Donald Trump, and we look forward to, in 2025, we look forward to working with his administration, and we look forward to, again, to continuing to strengthen the relationship between Belize and the United States. It's a very, very important relationship for us, and we are committed to working very closely with any U.S. president and their administration to advance our mutual needs and interests.
Fonseca also underscored Belize's long-standing ties with the United States, noting that both nations have a history of working together to promote stability and prosperity in the region. He expressed confidence in the future of U.S.-Belize relations under Trump's leadership, including in the area of immigration. But with the outcome of the 2024 U.S. presidential elections, concerns about deportation have intensified, as President-elect Donald Trump had pledged that upon taking office, he would initiate the largest deportation effort in American history. So, should Belizeans living in the U.S. be concerned? That is what we asked Fonseca today.
Yes, the president, during his campaign, made certain, I think, policy statements about his position on immigration. Of course, we will have to wait and see what actually happens. But I think, everyone knows that, I think one of the great attributes of the United States of America is that it's a country of laws. It's a country that has demonstrated over centuries its commitment to the rule of law. And so, I don't think that Belizeans who are living there should be in fear. Obviously, if you're an illegal immigrant, I expect that you're always a bit anxious about your status. So I guess that will continue. But we certainly hope that the new administration coming in will fully, and we expect them to fully abide by the laws, international laws, as well as their own domestic laws, and of course always treat immigrants with respect and dignity.
Minister.
The Trump administration is set to officially take office on January 28, 2025, following the congressional count of electoral college votes on January 6th. Belize's government has already outlined its diplomatic priorities for the coming term, signaling a proactive approach to fostering closer ties with its northern neighbor. Donald Trump is headed to the White House for a second time after winning a clear majority of electoral college votes. The race was called after Trump emerged victorious in swing states Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, giving him enough votes to win the presidency. He had already secured the key states of Georgia and North Carolina earlier in the night. The Republican nominee has since turned 28 states red, while Vice President Kamala Harris has secured just 18 along with the District of Columbia. Polls had shown Trump and Harris neck and neck in most swing states and a popular vote in the days leading up to the election. Trump will only the second ever U.S. president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. The People's Diabetes Foundation is counting down the days to November 14th, just 1 week away, when it will host its most significant event of the year in honor of Diabetes Day 2024. This year's celebration promises to emphasize awareness, education, prevention, and support for those affected by diabetes, drawing attention to a vital health issue that impacts millions. The event will take place in Punta Gorda, aiming to engage the community in meaningful discussions and activities focused on diabetes management and health promotion. Ariela Gonzalez, office manager of the People's Diabetes Foundation in Corozal, shared insights about the upcoming celebration, which also includes a raffle.
Right now, our current members, the executive directors, right now, our term is coming to an end.
We do have 8 prizes this year. Starting with prize number 1, we did get a sponsorship from Moyuna Resort in Hopkins. That's our first prize. It's 2 nights for 2 persons at Moyuna Resort, breakfast included. Second prize is a bicycle donated from B&L Realty. That's in Cayo. She's from Cayo, so we did get sponsorship countrywide. Third prize is the 5-gallon filled butane tank from Quilling's gas station. Fourth prize is a Ninja blender, sponsored by Mr. Fred Flowers. Fifth prize is a blood pressure monitor, courtesy of People's Diabetes Foundation. Sixth prize is a fan, sponsored by Roshni Supermarket. Seventh prize is $50 towards winner's utility bill. That's an anonymous sponsor. She didn't want her name be said. And the eighth prize is $50 gift certificate Magania's Pharmacy. So like I said, we did get good sponsorship this year. So thanks to each and everyone that sponsored our raffle.
The proceeds from the raffle ticket sales will directly support the services provided by the People's Diabetes Foundation So by purchasing just one ticket, you are already making a difference.
If you want tickets, you can get it at our office or you can get it countrywide with our representatives, including Kikaker and San Pedro. And if you wish to donate, you can message us at 624-4476 to ask for our bank account. Guys, that this is a way how we can reach someone. Like our president always says, we all know someone or are ourselves living with diabetes. You never know when you could get newly diagnosed or you could have a familiar being diagnosed with diabetes, and this is a way how we can help prevent diabetes in bringing awareness, education, and support to those living with diabetes and to those supporting them.
And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
This is my first visit to Belize as foreign minister, but my fourth overall. I first came here 20 years ago. Taiwan and Belize have many things in common, and we both cherish peace and uphold the values of freedom, democracy, the rule of law, and respect for human rights. And based on these solid foundation of common ideals and mutual interests, our friendship has continued to flourish for 35 years. The government of Taiwan, in response to Prime Minister Belize-Taiwan's request during his visit to Taiwan in May, has agreed to provide financial support for the reconstruction of Beacon Bridge in Belize City. We understand that this is a pressing issue concerning the city's transportation safety.
Taiwan has proven over those 35 years to be a very valuable partner and very consistent partner and ally and friend of Belize's development. So we're very happy to welcome Minister Lin and his delegation to Belize.
Relationship between countries starts with personal friendships. And once you build that personal friendship, then you start to build on top of that.
The Institute of Archaeology, a branch of the National Institute of Culture and History, NICH, announced a delay in the implementation of new entrance fees for Belize's archaeological reserves. Initially set to take effect on November 1st, 2024, the revised fee structure will now be introduced on January 1st, 2025. The postponement comes after stakeholders expressed the need for more time to prepare for the changes. This extended period will enable further consultations with stakeholders to address any concerns or questions regarding the fees and their objectives. As the Minister for Culture, today Minister Francis Fonseca spoke on this delay, saying that it was needed for the change to be implemented smoothly in different areas.
Yeah, it was just technical stuff that wasn't ready. Some of the paperwork wasn't ready. So it was to take effect November, as you all know, November 1st. We've now said it will take effect January 1st. There were also some discussions with some of the cruise operators, so cruise ships, and I think there was a sense that perhaps we needed a few more weeks. So everybody agreed that January 1st would be the best time.
As previously mentioned, the new fees are expected to take effect early in the new year. The National Student Union of Belize, NSUB, is calling for aspiring student leaders across the country to apply for positions on its executive board with an extended application deadline of December 6, 2024. Since its establishment on February 8, 2018, NSUB has been dedicated to representing tertiary level students tertiary level students in Belize advocating for their rights, promoting equal learning opportunities, and enhancing student life through various educational programs. As a member of the Commonwealth Students Association, NSUB plays a significant role in addressing the issues faced by students, ensuring that their voices are heard in discussions that affect their educational journey and overall well-being. In an interview with Desia Regalada, the communications director of NSUB, she emphasized the importance of student participation in the upcoming elections.
Right now, our current members, the executive directors, right now, our term is coming to an end. So we are currently seeking young people out there that wants to get involved into the leadership, and that's why this is also a way of inviting them to become part of the union. We have different positions available. The link to sign in will be found or is found on our Facebook page for the National Student Union Facebook page and also on our Instagram bio. Uh, Once they sign in, like they'll see the different positions that we are looking for and the duties that each position will entail. The position itself, it takes a lot of leadership, it takes time, and of course you need to be a tertiary level student. And reason why a tertiary level student is because, like, again, we strongly believe that young people can take leadership. We strongly believe that they can be part of the decision making. We just don't want people who are not actual students making the decisions. We also want young people who are actually at the school studying, going through the system, experiencing the hardship, experiencing the financial issue, the constraints, and everything else, so that they can also take that out there when where the decisions are being made, so that their voices can also be heard.
Regalada points out that individuals looking to join the executive must keep in mind that if they are accepted into the role, they will need to attend numerous government meetings while also fulfilling their responsibilities as students.
It's a big thing in terms of, like, it takes a lot of responsibilities because you're a student, and some students, they do part-time work and they study. So it takes a lot of time, a lot of work, especially when it comes to the president and vice president. So they'll be partaking in government meetings, decision-making meetings, and very important meeting that will requires their involvement. So this is why we have extended the time as well, so that they can, okay, and because we also want them to know that once they apply for any of these positions, it will be like we will guide them.
For those interested in applying or learning more about the election process, NSUB invites hearers via their social media platforms on Facebook and Instagram, or directly through email at studentaffairs.nsub@gmail.com. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Thursday, November 7th, here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at CTV3BelizeNews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews, or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.